Welcome to the deep dive. We take source material, find the key insights, and we'll unpack them for you.
That's the plan.
Today, we're tackling something really crucial: online safety. It affects almost everyone.
It really does.
And our sources, specifically pages 73 to 75, give us a pretty profound look at the digital world's complexities.
Yeah, and how to handle its challenges.
So our mission today is to break down these insights, give you that shortcut to understanding the hidden dangers, but also, importantly, the defenses we can build.
Exactly. We're looking at how some, timeless wisdom and very practical advice can shed light on these often, murky online interactions.
Murky's a good word for it.
Yeah. It helps us get not just what the dangers are, but maybe why there's such a unique threat online. And crucially, how to build strong defenses for ourselves, for people we care about.
Okay, let's unpack that first big piece. Our sources jump right into a critical issue: how online content, especially things like porn or maybe just really superficial takes on intimacy, how that stuff can fundamentally twist our perception of sexuality, body image, even what a healthy relationship looks like.
It's like this digital mirage, as you said. It seems real, maybe promises connection.
Yeah, but it tricks the mind, leads to confusion, and the source actually says severe damage to self-image.
Right. And it's not just about the obviously explicit stuff either. It's the way online interactions themselves, often without real human nuance, can mess with our internal compass.
That's fascinating. How does that connect to maybe older ideas?
Well, what's really interesting is how the source ties this directly to timeless psychological insights. It mentions the Rambam's 8 chapters, which teaches about the huge influence imagination has on, shaping our character, our inner world.
Right. So what we feed our imagination matters a lot.
Exactly. Think about it. Our understanding of connection, our emotional intelligence, it's built on experiences, observations. So when people, especially young people, see distorted or, frankly, misguided sexual content online without context, without guidance,
It leaves a mark.
it really does. It imprints these unhealthy, unrealistic ideas. It's not just a quick image. It's like planting a seed in the imagination.
Wow.
Yeah, and that seed can grow into warped expectations, self-doubt, trouble forming real, healthy relationships later on. That's the insidious part of this digital mirage. It can actually change how we understand things.
And, okay, so you've got this distortion happening that must make people more vulnerable, right?
Absolutely. It feeds directly into vulnerability. The sources point out that just a basic lack of knowledge combined with, a natural naivety.
Especially around sensitive stuff like sexuality, boundaries.
Exactly. That combination can leave individuals just incredibly exposed to exploitation.
And the abusers.
Yeah.
They know this.
Oh, they're not just stumbling around. They're actively looking for that openness, that innocence. And they are, unfortunately, very skilled at exploiting it.
Which brings up a tough question. Who are these exploiters? Is it always strangers?
That's what's so disturbing. The sources make it clear it's not always some distant anonymous figure. While that happens, of course, exploiters can be people much closer. Even family members, people in your trusted circle, or maybe just someone who seems like a friendly contact online.
So people you might think you know.
Right. The source calls them bad people who know how to present a false front, show false warmth and interest. They're masters of manipulation.
How does that manipulation work?
Well, they often disguise harmful actions as, empathy or support. They pretend to understand your problems, offer advice you didn't ask for, seem like the only one who really gets you.
So it makes it hard to see the abuse for what it is.
Incredibly difficult, because it's wrapped up in what looks like care. The sources even talk about specific tactics like emotional blackmail, financial extortion.
Using secrets against someone.
Yeah, or threatening to publish embarrassing info. Imagine trusting someone, sharing something private, and then having it used against you. It's a deep betrayal.
That's heavy.
Yeah.
And when we talk about this online harm, it's easy to maybe minimize it, think, oh, it just happened online.
But that's a huge mistake. The sources are chillingly clear on this. The damage goes deep, the scars might be invisible, but they can impact someone's whole life for years.
Okay, let's talk about that impact. What does it look like?
It's critical to understand this. The sources list a whole cascade of consequences. Serious damage to self-image, like we said, but also crippling anxiety, deep depression.
Functional problems.
Yeah, like trouble working, studying, socializing, and in the most tragic outcomes, even suicidal thoughts.
Wow.
But here's what makes online abuse maybe uniquely damaging, sometimes even more than physical harm.
What's that?
It's not bound by time or place. A physical injury might heal, a bad encounter might fade from memory, but harmful online content, a photo, a message, a lie,
Can stick
and
around.
it can persist indefinitely, pop up years later, get shared again, constantly re-exposing the victim to that trauma.
So it never really feels over.
Exactly, that ongoing helplessness, that feeling the attack never ends. The psychological damage is like a wound that keeps getting reopened. Always fresh, always there. It just erodes your sense of safety, your control, in a way that's really specific to the digital age.
Okay, so given how relentless this can be,
Mm-hmm.
what does that mean for the person going through it? You mentioned shame earlier.
Yes, the sources really emphasize that victims often feel intense shame, guilt, fear.
Guilt. Why guilt?
Well, sometimes from feeling they somehow cooperated with the abuser, especially if trust was involved, or maybe fear of being punished, or if the content was something they created themselves, even naively.
Ah, I see. That's tough.
And it tragically leads to what the sources call a cycle of silence.
Meaning they don't tell anyone.
Exactly. They're consumed by these feelings, so they're incredibly hesitant to share what happened or seek help.
But that silence,
Ah.
it must make things worse.
That's the danger. It's perhaps one of the most dangerous parts. The silence amplifies the harm, deepens the trauma, and it empowers the abuser who actually relies on that secrecy.
So the abuser wants the victim to stay quiet.
Absolutely. It allows them to intensify the manipulation, emotional, psychological, sometimes even financial. Imagine feeling totally alone with this huge burden, convinced that telling anyone makes it worse, that you're somehow the problem.
Yeah.
So the sources really drive home that breaking that cycle, speaking out, is absolutely vital. It's step one towards healing, towards taking back control. Shattering the silence is key.
Okay, so understanding these challenges, the deep harm, this cycle of silence,
Yeah.
the sources must talk about prevention, protection. What's the role for, say, parents or educators?
A crucial role. Creating a protective environment is key. But it's more than just warnings. It's about empowering people with the knowledge and tools to navigate safely, turning potential victims into, active participants in their own safety.
How do we do that?
Well, the first most critical step is awareness. And not just be careful online, but specific, actionable insights.
Like what?
Like explaining the actual traps abusers set, that fake warmth and interest we talked about, or the direct threats like extortion using embarrassing info.
Right, and explaining that silence cycle.
Definitely. Explaining how silence fuels the manipulation and stressing the absolute need to break it. The sources even bring in ancient wisdom here, referencing a verse from Psalms, "Turn from evil and do good."
How does that apply online?
Well, in this context, it's not just moral, it's practical. It means proactively choosing positive engagement, speaking up against bad stuff, not joining in harmful online behavior, and just leaving toxic digital spaces. It's about an active defense, not just hiding.
Okay, that makes sense. So beyond identifying traps, get really practical. What does safe online behavior actually look like day to day?
The sources give some pretty clear guidance here. Number one, prioritize privacy.
Seems obvious, but maybe harder in practice.
It means being really conscious of every bit of info you share, every privacy setting. Number two, avoid sharing personal, intimate content. Photos, videos, deeply personal stories, anything that could be weaponized.
Okay.
Number three, use sound judgment, even caution, with strangers online. No matter how friendly they seem, they are a stranger.
Right.
And here's a huge takeaway, maybe the most important practical point. Anything you upload, even if you hit delete,
It might still be out there.
it can remain there forever. It's like a digital ghost. A photo, a comment from years ago, it can be recovered, screenshotted, archived, pop up anytime.
That really underscores the permanence, doesn't it? Makes you think twice before hitting send.
It absolutely should. Extreme caution is critical.
Now, the sources don't just focus on avoiding bad stuff, right? They also mention the positive side.
Yes, that's important too. Beyond just harm avoidance, they talk about the positive power of online expression, encouraging, sharing, uplifting things, engaging in respectful conversations that highlight our better human qualities, our social, spiritual sides.
So it's not just building walls, but also cultivating a better online garden, so to speak.
Exactly. It's about actively creating a positive space.
Does ancient wisdom come into play there too?
It does. The sources bring up Lashon Hara.
Which is about?
It's an ancient ethical principle about slander, gossip, basically, the harm speech can do.
Oh, okay. And online.
In the virtual world, where words spread instantly and, like we said, can last forever, this principle is maybe even more vital.
So resist joining in harmful talk.
Right. Resist the social pressure to pile on, spread rumors, be negative. The sources encourage taking a stand, report bad content, or just leave toxic online groups. Don't worry about what others think.
And a really key message seems to be about blame.
Absolutely crucial. The sources stated unequivocally, the sole responsibility for the harm rests with the abuser.
Not the victim.
Never the victim. Victims should never feel shame or guilt. Their worth isn't touched by what happened to them. That's a powerful message of empowerment.
Wow. Okay. What a deep dive this has been. We've gone from that idea of the digital mirage distorting reality,
To the deep invisible wounds.
and then thankfully to powerful strategies rooted in both modern understanding and timeless wisdom for building that digital fortress.
Yeah, it really brings together ancient ethics and modern tech challenges.
It really shows that navigating online isn't just about knowing which buttons to click, is it?
Not at all. This deep dive makes it clear it's about fostering internal resilience, promoting open, honest communication in families, communities.
And holding on to basic values.
Exactly. Trust, truth, mutual respect. Those are the timeless building blocks for a truly safe and hopefully empowering online life.
So as you reflect on this deep dive, thinking specifically about pages 73 to 75 of our source material, here's something to consider. How can you actively help create an online space where awareness, support, and ethical behavior empower everyone? So we can all engage not with fear, but with informed confidence and a real sense of purpose.